Putin, Trump, and the Arctic Showdown in Alaska of all places. Buddy, this was more theater than diplomacy. Putin wanted legitimacy. Trump wanted headlines. In Canada, we are stuck in the middle of this icy chessboard. August 15th, Alaska. Trump and Putin hold a summit. Putin's first US visit since invading Ukraine in 2022. The headlines? Possible Ukraine ceasefire. But here's the twist. No deal. No breakthrough. Just Putin walking away with optics. Trump looking confused. And the Arctic, the silent star of the show. Why should you care? Because every time the Arctic becomes a stage for US-Russia theatrics, Canada's sovereignty gets tested. And wait till you hear the part about Putin literally paying cash for jet fuel. You cannot make this up. The setup. Why meet in Alaska? Not random. Alaska is US soil, but it's symbolically tied to Russia. America literally bought it from the Russian Empire in 1867. For Putin, genius optics. He gets to stand on Alaskan ground beside Trump, as if Russia and the US are Arctic co-managers. For Trump, theater, he loves spectacle. Nothing screams historic like hosting Putin in America's Arctic frontier. But here is the Canadian angle. US and Russia flexing over our neighborhood. Talking Arctic strategy, Ukraine, geopolitics, and Canada not even in the room. That should set off alarm bells in Ottawa. What they talked about. Officially, Ukraine. Trump started by pushing for a ceasefire. But after meeting Putin, suddenly he's saying Ukraine should cut a direct peace deal. Sound familiar? Trump often flips after face-to-face talks. Putin, meanwhile, wanted concessions. Ukraine hangs over Donetsk and Luhansk, freeze the front lines. Basically, let me keep what I've stolen and we will call it peace. Ukraine said no. And the kicker? The meeting lasted less than 3 hours. No agreement, no ceasefire, just a handshake, a photo op, and vague talk about progress. Classic summit theater. Before we go any further, please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Subscribing to my channel is not going to cost you anything, but it does help me big time. Thank you. Now back to our topic. The symbolism of the Arctic. Don't miss the symbolism. Holding this in Alaska was not logistics. It was about the Arctic. For years, the Arctic's been heating up geopolitically. Russia, dozens of bases north of the circle. China calling itself a near-Arctic state, pouring billions into icebreakers. And Canada, half asleep at the wheel. So, when Putin stands in Alaska shaking Trump's hand, the message is clear. The Arctic is now a bargaining chip, not just polar bears and melting ice. Power, strategy, control. And every time Washington and Moscow use the Arctic as their stage, Canada risks getting sidelined in its own backyard. The jet fuel joke. Here is the part that kills me. Because of sanctions, Putin's delegations could not use US banks. So, when his plane landed, they literally had to pay cash. Like a mobster filling up tank at Petro-Canada. Imagine Putin, one of the most powerful men in the world, pulling out a briefcase of cash to fuel his jet. It's hilarious. but also symbolic. Russia's economy is so boxed, even at a summit, they cannot swipe a card. That's where Moscow's at right now. Who really won? So, who came out on top? Putin got legitimacy. He stood on US soil, met a sitting president, pushed his peace terms, looked like a statesman instead of a pariah. Trump got headlines. He can say he met Putin, tried for peace, hosted something historic, but substance? Nothing. Nothing changed. Ukraine still fighting. Russia still sanctioned. Arctic still contested. And the Arctic itself, the silent winner. Because now the world sees it as a stage for great power politics. Why Canada should care? Here is the Canadian angle. Every time Russia and the US play Arctic theater, Canada's sovereignty takes a hit. The Northwest Passage, Russia does not recognize it as Canadian waters. Neither does the US. Washington calls it an international strait. So, when Trump and Putin meet in Alaska, Canada's Arctic control is not even on the agenda. Think about that. Two superpowers meet in our backyard, make headlines, shake hands, and Canada's role? Nowhere. Because sovereignty is not just planting a flag. It's being at the table when decisions get made. And right now, we are not even invited. So, here is the bottom line. Putin and Trump meet in Alaska. They talk Ukraine, play theater, make headlines. Putin gets optics. Trump gets spectacle. The Arctic gets attention. In Canada, we get sidelined. Again. Buddy, that's the part that should bother us most. Because while Washington and Moscow posture, it's our Arctic on the line, our sovereignty, our resources. So, I will throw it to you. If Putin and Trump are shaking hands in the Arctic and Canada is not even in the room, who's really in control of the North? Let me know in the comment below. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share this with your friends. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.